The biggest from the course or creating tutorials in general?
The whole process, making them, did it take away from anything else? Did you have to sacrifice anything to put time into this at that age? Because, people were doing other things during that time, while you're there hustling. Not everyone was hustling.
I'd say the biggest downfall was
so that kind of leads me into next thing. I have an idea of this. I'm not sure if everyone else is aware, but earlier when YouTube first started, to my understanding, you took to that platform quickly and started teaching tutorials. This is to my understanding. Uh-huh. So my question is, can you explain to us how you came about posting dance tutorials, and how old were you when you did this, and what platforms did you do this on besides YouTube?
The main thing, I started uploading to YouTube like the minute it came out, but it was primarily like sharing dance videos to friends, because what I used to do prior to YouTube was like all these collegiate dance companies had their own websites at the time, and you can watch their performances, and I would I like collecting footage. Even then I was collecting footage. Like I would download footage of Team Millennia, Kawamata, and Pac, just so I can like watch it and be inspired. Even the old like Jabberwockies from back then.
Volts.
Yeah. So like, but I started doing more tutorial stuff around 2012, 2013, when I learned that you can monetize, like you can make money off doing tutorials. So I decided to do like my own thing. YouTube was the only one I know that allowed you, that people were making money off it. So I decided to do that. And then from there, I discovered this other platform called Udemy, decided to give it a shot, upload my stuff there, give it a nice curriculum. And yeah, it's been giving me a nice side income here and there. But yeah, I haven't been doing that much tutorials lately because for obvious reasons, were COVID times, and partially because I'm lazy as fuck. But like it takes a lot of effort. It really takes a lot of effort to choreograph, film, and then edit the tutorials. So for me, it just became like a big time suck, as Vision Paradox and everything else was becoming, as I was getting more involved with those.
Well, to my knowledge, you were a success doing that. So my next question is, what was your favorite outcome of making these tutorials, and what was your biggest pitfall back then with making the tutorials?
Biggest outcome? I'd say passive income. It's what do you call it? And those of you guys who, I guess, just to give a context, just because you make an online class on online tutorials and all that stuff doesn't mean it's guaranteed anything. Yeah. Even though I say passive income, it's not like it's paying my rent, but it does help, plenty. But I'd say successfully creating some form of passive income through my knowledge. I'd say the biggest downfall. I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I feel pretty like in terms of
it's not a success.
No, I mean it's doing what I wanted it to do. Like, I mean, like the biggest from the course or creating tutorials in general?
The whole process, making them, did it take away from anything else? Did you have to sacrifice anything to put time into this at that age? Because, people were doing other things during that time, while you're there hustling. Not everyone was hustling.
I'd say the biggest downfall was how much time it took, I think, because it did take away from family and I had to focus a lot of it. I guess at that time, 2013, 2014, it was like Vision Paradox wasn't a company yet, but so I had a lot of time to create this. I think the biggest downfall was like, I feel like I could have probably better managed my time, or maybe not manage my time, because I felt pretty good about that. Maybe allow myself to step away from work more, realizing it's not the end of the world if I don't finish something that day.
Very good. All right. Well, now, how do you think the outcome of your online tutorials would be if you started doing it now compared to back then?
Oh, How do I think it would be if I did it today?
Yeah, if
And
you
I still have the same knowledge, right?
Same knowledge, but if you just decided today, hey, you know what? I want to
Create another course
yeah.
or create new tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
And and I'm starting from zero, or do I have my current audience?
Current audience, because back then you start from zero, but I guess having the audience, you wouldn't have the audience if you didn't do it back then. You know, do you feel like you built most of your audience from doing it back then?
I think the tutorials were definitely a good jumping off point because it was leveraging attention from trending songs, which was good, you know. And I think a good chunk of my audience now was built from like not leveraging my knowledge of dance and applying it to an even bigger kind of, I guess, genre or subculture, which is K-pop. So it's like just for me, I try to like, you know, I've said it with you guys in meetings, like I like to capitalize on my gifts and my knowledge to try to make profits of what I can do. So that's essentially like what I did with my dance tutorials and now doing that with the K-pop stuff, reaction videos. But does that answer that question? Because I feel like I just went on a tangent.
Well, I think the next question kind of helps.
Because I still kind of want to answer that. Like, how do you think I would do, right?
Yeah, what would your success rate be if you did this now?
Right. Okay, so if my success rate now with the current audience, I think would be much higher because there's attention, and I know what they want, and I can just simply leverage like certain requests, and there's an audience and there's a platform now. I think it would be much. Huh?
No, I'm like, then why don't you do it now? No.
I mean, I do fully intend on starting tutorials again because I've been interested in doing choreography again. There's just a point in time in my dancing career I just wanted to freestyle. I had no interest in choreography. But yeah, more recently this year I've been wanting to just do more choreography to help me like kind of explore new forms of movement and whatnot. But yeah, if I was to start today from zero, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be much harder. Yeah. But if I had the same marketing knowledge, I think I would have an edge.
Okay, there you go.